guys, welcome to another interesting segment at Home Truth Nigeria. Uh, just as I said, a few days ago, I promised to release the part two of the Signs Your Nigerian Guy Might Have a Family in Nigeria, basically. And yes, this is me keeping to my word. I know some of you can't wait to hear what I got to say. Within 24 hours, I was so surprised, by the way. A lot of ladies, had reached out to me to share their stories about, familiar situations they've had to go through, with Nigerian men. And most of them really, you know, swooped into action immediately. They started acting because some of them had given money or this or that, and now the whole relationship has been compromised. They want their things back. And yeah, I wish I can share half of the stories I hear, and a lot of you guys would be totally blown away. Now, from women who these women are women who basically brought out their hearts to show love to these few nonchalant Nigerian men. But at the end of the day, these women were left heartbroken and totally gutted, and disappointed as the case may be. And I can always say, just to inform you guys, you know, the real Nigerian man is not like all these things I've been saying. If you meet a real Nigerian man, he would not take you for granted. Most of you are with real Nigerian men. Some of you are married to some, and you're very happy in your marriage. A real Nigerian man would treat you like an African queen. He will defend you from anybody. Above all, he will stand with you, come what may. And this is how we are raised in Nigeria, to be honest, to be straight, direct, fun, loving, and above all, to have the fear of God. This is one thing about, uh, being a real Nigerian man. But of course, we have the bad ones amongst us. I mean, Jesus Christ had Judas, who betrayed him, dining in the Last Supper. So we can't all be clean. And one of the reasons why you're always having, people talk about Nigeria men is because we are the largest black country in the whole world, over 210 million. So the chances are, if you meet 10 black men, you would have like five or six of them as Nigerians. I mean, it's a huge, huge country. So that's why you keep hearing things. And then also, we have a situation of mistake identity. If you catch someone from another country doing fraud or something, most of them would tell you that, oh, I'm from Nigeria. Some are coming from Ghana or some other parts of Africa, but they would always use the term Nigeria. Or even if they don't use the term Nigeria, as long as they're black and Africans, they would be tagged Nigerians. So what I'm doing basically, I'm trying to, do some kind of squeaky clean, filter clean and educate you guys on how to catch these few crooks who are still, lingering around like toothache uh, to scam you and to collect your valuables. So my aim is to fish them out and, expose them to you. Yeah, what was I saying? Right. Sorry. So let's continue from where I stopped, please. Let's go there. So one point you need to understand is little or no call when it travels. Are you in a situation whereby anytime your man travels, the call rate drops, like it drops, and he blames it on work, on stress, and electricity. Granted, we don't have stable electric power supply in Nigeria. I mean, there are stories of women who, have reported that whenever their man travels to his home country, the call rate drops. You can't have, sudden video calls, with him, maybe just to say, okay, good night, or, things couples do. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have all of these things with him. So he just drops, from calling, and always would tell you in advance to inform him before you want to make, a call. You know, some that are very intelligent and professional cheats, they go as far as running their battery down. They run the phone battery down, and then they make a screenshot and show you that, look, I got 1 bar left, or my battery is 10%. That is to say, my phone will go off any moment from now. They send you the screenshot, and then of course, you believe, because you know that we don't have stable power supply in Nigeria. And they give you this illusion that no, because they're coming from overseas, they can't charge their phones anywhere. They could get, someone could steal it, or there could be a problem. So whenever power or electricity, comes back, they will charge their phone. And when they do so, they will contact you, but don't worry, everything is fine. Such situation, keeps you listening to me, keeps you frustrated and angry. And the truth is, a professional cheat, would do this because he doesn't want any kind of a disturbance or calls or text message, coming in when he's on the same bed with his Nigerian wife, or Nigerian soon to be wife, or Nigerian concubine. He doesn't want any of these. So he informs you on time and make you understand that this is the situation. And this trick has been working, for years. And I always tell ladies, it is high time you woke up and smell the coffee, and do not suppress, the inner thoughts that is, sometimes telling you that something is happening. I always say, when you have doubt about anything, please don't suppress it. Act on it. If you feel he is cheating on you, don't suppress it. One thing you need to understand, that we have the inner man, the spirit. It is more conscious than our physical body. And when your spirit man is leading you to something, don't say, nah, it's just me thinking wide. No, act on it. It doesn't cost you nothing to act on it. It is better to be safe than sorry. Another point I want to talk about is, he spends family holidays in Nigeria without you. If your man is always traveling a lot, most especially, during, family holidays like Christmas, Easter, New Year, Thanksgiving, Kwanzaa, and you are left all alone on, this special occasion. Haha, my sister, which one? Alpha, you need to wise up, before you will be served premium breakfast, because you don't need the prophet to tell you that someone is playing with your heart. Yeah, I mean, this is me, telling you with my Nigerian accent. But guys, you know, we need to understand something. And one thing we need to understand is that, for those of you who don't know, Xmas is a huge festive period in Nigeria. It's it's a period that thousands and millions of Nigerians overseas are returning home to visit loved ones and to reunite with families and friends. It's a season where people basically come back to show their accomplishment in life. Some people come and they flaunt their cars. They show you they've got fleets of cars. They show you what they've acquired in their life. Some people use it as an opportunity to do housewarming party or housewarming, ceremony. And it's also a perfect period to get married. It's a perfect period to get married because it's the season where everyone is coming back home. So it's a perfect period to get married. So especially from the Nigerians that are coming from the eastern parts, the predominantly the Igbos. So the truth is, you may be in your country, eating and smoking away, while your Nigerian man is busy getting married, and exchanging vows for better and for worse. And this is the case. I sometimes meet some of you ladies. You know me personally. I sometimes ask you, "Where is your husband? Why are you still here? And your husband is in Nigeria or in Africa for Xmas?" And you're like, "Ah, yeah, uh, we didn't plan it. He just got a call. They said it was urgent. He just had to go." I was like, "Okay, doesn't make sense." But you know, I would advise you to put your ears in the ground more next time he gets this call. Another point is he never invites you to travel with him. Now, one thing you must understand is that Nigerian men are very proud of their culture. And because of this, we always want to educate people on our culture. Or permit me to say the Nigerian way. We want to show people how we have survived or retained our culture that has been practiced for thousands of years by our ancestors. And and the Nigerians would always want you to come home, try the Nigerian food, try our traditional cuisine that you would never find in any part of the world or any restaurant, as the case may be. So if your Nigerian man never, pushes you to travel, rather he keeps telling you, scary things that make you want to crap yourself about Nigeria, things that scares you to the bone marrow, things that makes you see Nigeria as a place where you should never visit or a place where Western people shouldn't visit. In 2017, I took some colleagues, to Nigeria for the very first time, and they were amazed when they got to Nigeria and they saw that there were a lot of Western people who actually live in Nigeria. And I was like, yeah, of course, this is the part the media doesn't show you. If a Nigerian man is telling you all of these stories, telling you that, oh, when you come there, because of your color, or if they hear your accent, they may apprehend or kidnap you, and you may never be seen again. Because your government would not pay ransom. And yet, when he tells you this, all these things to scare you, he still travels because he's some Superman or invincible, or he has this immunity from whatever thing he's telling you. Then, my sister, I need to tell you that you are seriously dating yourself, or you are in a relationship with yourself and yourself alone. And that is the truth. And I always say to some of you ladies, if your husband wants to travel and he gives you instant notice, start packing your bags. As it's packing, pack your bags. If your guy wants to travel, he just gives you some quick notice that, oh, hey, something came up, I need to travel. Start packing your bag, pack it, put it in a suitcase. If he tries discouraging you or asks you why, I always say to those of you who know me personally, I always say, leave this message with him. It's taken from the Bible, basically, Root 116. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. I always say this, drop this message with him, and it would silence the whole situation. Now, in conclusion, now some Nigerian men, not all, please. This I'm talking about some, because most Nigerian men are not like this. Some Nigerian men have it in mind that marrying you does not stop them from, having a second family. Some might not even necessarily, go back home to marry. They may go home and put a lady in the family way, pregnant her, and start raising kids through her. Most especially if they notice that you can't give them a child, or they notice that you've given them a child, but you just had all female children, or a female child. Most Nigerian men who are, few Nigerian men, I beg your pardon, who are very, very traditional, may take this move. I've always told you about the preference for the male, child. Now, the moral of this topic is not to scare you away from Nigerian men, because I've always reiterated it, I've always said it, that Nigerian men are not like this. We are unique and God fearing people. However, the ones who are out there deceiving you and telling you everything you need to hear so that you fall in love, there are very few of them. And that's why I've taken this thing to my to heart, to expose them. As always, sometimes, when you're dating, I've always said to some of you ladies, when you're dating, sometimes I always urge you to go beyond looks. Listen, attractiveness counts. It does count. We all love our man to be dark, fit, chiseled, white teeth, you know, presentable, and all of that. But also, sometimes you need to ask yourself if he also sees you to be as attractive as he is, because sometimes it is mismatched. Sometimes you just take a stroll and you see a Nigerian man who is so much, looking like he just came out from Mr. Olympia or Mr. Olympics, competing with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then you see him with a lady, you can't differentiate uh, where you can't differentiate uh, the lady from, I don't know, and you want to tell me that is love? Love is not blind, as we say in Nigeria. Love is not blind. Love has eyes; it sees, especially for Nigerians. So, guys, please, to avoid drama and story that touches the heart, I always would tell you it is better to be single and be happy and alive than to be once married or once in a serious relationship and late. Remember, your peace of mind, your mental state, your sanity, these things are very, very priceless. Don't compromise with it. Don't go into anything that would keep you awake, sleeping. You start acting like you're having bipolar because of one relationship you've gone into enter. If you are in anything that would take away your peace, something that would, take sleep away from you, you need to review it. Honestly, you really need to review this thing that is taking away sleep from you. Guys, until next time, I like to say thank you so much for listening. Um, by the weekend, I would talk on I would run the Q&A episode 4 and answer a few questions that I saw in the comment section. Guys, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Home Truth Nigeria. Peace out.